Good afternoon. My name is Tom Silva, and I'm here representing the Baltimore Pedicab Company. One of the problems we have here in Baltimore, well, first thing, we want to be the original Baltimore City purveyor of pedicabs, an efficient, economical, green way to get around the city. Give a little tour around the city as well. One of the problems that we have here in Baltimore is that we do have a congestion and parking problem. This pedicabs, they do provide an exhilarating yet intimate way to get around the city, just as water taxis do, but on land in around the inner harbor, as you see right there. I'm hoping to capture 75 to 95% of the market, simply because, as you see on the screen right there, we have over 12 million annual tourists to Baltimore City per year, from many different sporting events to you name it. You see it out there, they come on inside here. One of the main competitors that we do have is a Chesapeake Pedicab Company, and they only have 2 pedicabs, so I'd like to come in with 20 pedicabs and secure the market share, which will in turn give me the competitive advantage. As you see on the screen, my projected annual income is $220,000 per year in rentals, as well as $300,000 in advertising. The way we do that is by advertising on the pedicab itself, as well as rent out the pedicab to customers.
I've seen this executed really well in Austin.
That's correct, yes. That's where I initially, San Diego was initially, I lived in San Diego, and that's where I initially got the idea. Then I moved to Austin to start a pedicab company, and my partner, this was in 2004, my partner who had all the money somehow lost all the money, and so I decided to move to Maryland. And years later I decided, you know, it's time to get this started. So I have one, that is my pedicab you saw a picture of, and I do ride it around. I do talk to people and find out what they're looking for, and everywhere I go, everybody says, wow, that is so cool, is this new? Are we finally getting something like this? There's no reason that Baltimore should not have pedicabs. We're a very large city. You see people walking around, you see people being pulled by horses, but for some reason you don't see any pedicabs around.
Yeah.
So
I noticed them, I used them twice in Austin, so just a couple weeks ago, and it turned out that all the riders are just working for tips.
that's correct.
Is that the way you would do it too?
That's correct. And usually when I ride around, people ask me, I say, hey, you know, you want to ride? And they say, no. I say, it's free. It's free. Oh, it's free? Yeah, you just got to tip me. Oh, okay, sure. No one wants to pay for anything, but they'd be glad to give tips. And, you know, just over 2 hours, I made $400 just riding around, you know, and got my exercise in. And what I want to do is I want to hire 20, 30, 40 individuals that are also interested in riding bikes, making some money, and being the face of Baltimore as they tour around the city.
What does it cost you to buy a pedicab?
$2,000.
And what is the second picture up from the bottom on the left?
This isn't mine. This is YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's YouTube. I don't know what any of this stuff is.
It's like, you know, it's like what is that person doing there? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't have the slightest idea what that is. Why don't I just go ahead and do that?
That's the hazard of a YouTube presentation.
It's a YouTube thing, it's not me.
So how do you, I understand like lots of people say, oh wow, that's great, I'd love to hop on, but where else do you ground your assumption that Baltimore can handle 20 pedicabs?
There are many different areas of Baltimore currently that people go and visit on a regular basis, such as Federal Hill, the Canton area where all the bars are at. They go to Fells Point, Inner Harbor, with all of these annual tourists, not to mention all the people that live here and you know, don't want to drink and drive, you know, or don't even want to walk to their house, trying to find, oh, I'll just drive. I'm okay, I've had, you know, one too many, but I'll drive. If we've got these pedicabs circling around, they just grab one, drop them off right at their house. But you've got all these different areas. On top of that, you have sporting events every other day. You know, you say the Baltimore Orioles. You've got you know, games every other day. And on Sundays, you've got the Ravens. You know, during the fall season as well. So there's plenty of opportunity for you know, for.
Cabs aren't allowed to stop in most places. In the places they are allowed to stop, they pay a licensing fee to the place that does it. How would you get around something like that?
Stop on the sidewalk. You stop on the sidewalk. We're not a car, so it's really easy to just move out of the way. I mean, the bikes are heavy, but you can certainly move them out of the way.
One last.
So how are you making money if the fares are simply paying your drivers tips How do you get paid?
The drivers actually pay me to rent out my bike. That's where I'm gonna be making $220,000 per year on that. The majority of the money is gonna come from the advertising on the sides of the pedicab, from Coca-Cola, from Rockstar Energy Drink, you know, from, you must protect this house. I can't think of, Under Armour, yeah. So all these different companies will advertise to be seen, and the money's in the advertising. That's where the majority of the money's at.
Thank you very much. Awesome.